A few closing remarks here. A couple of stories. So 2 weeks ago I was here, and it was I was meeting with representatives, and I had to run out to my car. It was a freezing cold day. I had a scarf, I had a jacket on, a big coat, and I had to run all the way over to the parking garage to grab my phone charger because it was dying, and then I ran all the way back, and I was trying to make sure I got back in time to watch the swearing in and the speaker votes and all those kinds of things. And I was just profusely sweating sitting in Stickland's office. And one of the workers there, staff, said, "Well, CJ, just take off your coat." And I said, "I can't." "So why not?" I said, "Think about it. The mere act of me taking off my coat would have made me a criminal." Today I was unloading stuff. I was parked right over here. And of course, once again, I was getting really hot this morning. And I actually took my sweater off. Thankfully, none of these guys with the cowboy hat saw me, because for about 60 seconds, I was a criminal because I had taken off my jacket. That's a problem. That's a problem when a thin piece of fabric is all that stands between a law-abiding citizen and a supposed criminal. Right. There are a lot of myths out there about open carry, and you're going to hear these when you walk through the door and you start meeting with your representatives. Why is open carry so important to us? Don't even worry about the whole constitutional right thing. I would even suggest don't even bring that up, because it's almost irrelevant, and quite frankly, if you say Constitution, it'll be like the Wicked Witch when you pour water on her. It'll be melting. So you've got to talk to them in terms that they understand, things that are going to make sense to them. And I'm not belittling them, I'm just saying that when you talk to a politician, you got to speak like a politician. Open carry does two major things. Kathy talked about one of them, which is comfort, which is also when I take off my jacket, I shouldn't become a criminal. So that's one of the big ones. If I'm wearing a tucked-in shirt, I have a choice. I can lower the caliber of firearm that I want to carry, which I have done because I've got a tucked-in shirt, and yes, I am armed as well. But I can't carry my .45 because it's very difficult to conceal if it's not in a waist holster. And I can't carry a shoulder holster. The second thing is that it is a deterrent to crime. Criminals are cowards, by and large. Yeah, there are some out there with a death wish that don't seem to care, but for the most part, criminals don't want to die for the couple of dollars that you have in your wallet. They don't want to die for your Xbox that you've got in your living room. So if you show them that they will die if they try to take those things from you or they threaten you, they are more likely not to do something. There's that saying that an armed society is a polite society. Manners are good when one must back up his actions with his life. The whole point of open carry is to deter a crime from happening in the first place. When that criminal sees that gun, he goes the other way. Open carry is confrontational. If open carry is confrontational, what are we calling all of our law enforcement? Are they confrontational? Yeah, I don't need to answer that. But I mean, honestly, I don't feel like I'm being confronted because law enforcement is carrying a firearm. No one else should either. There's another myth out there that open carry is just to bait cops. Now, what that tells me is that somebody has a very low esteem about the mentality of our law enforcement. I personally don't think that they're so stupid that they see a gun and they just, like a moth to a flame, have to fly towards it. I think they can think for themselves. So when a law enforcement or anybody in authority decides to hassle you for the lawful use of a firearm, the lawful carry of a firearm, that's not your fault. You're lawfully carrying. That's a decision that that individual made or was made for them based on a phone call. So this whole thing about baiting cops is a misnomer. Now, yes, there are people out there, and you've seen the YouTube videos of people that go out there and they say, "Oh, there's a police officer over there, I'm going to see what they have to say." That's not what we're about. Our mission statement is to have a fostered, cooperative relationship with law enforcement. If we pass open carry, all these businesses are going to start banning guns in their businesses. Well, guess what? I'm going to start banning my business in those businesses. And what those businesses need to understand is that by having me armed in that business is the safest place around. All you need to do is look at Kennesaw, Georgia. And this is a story that you can tell. Kennesaw, Georgia, 2 carloads full of thugs walk into a Waffle House. And they sent, well, not 2 carloads full, they sent a scout in. They were parked in the alley behind the Waffle House. They send a scout in. The scout goes in, he sees 2 men at 5:30 in the morning eating, both of them carrying holstered 1911 45 pistols. The scout walks out, tells these 2 carloads full of thugs, hey, there's two armed guys inside. They get ready to leave. The reason we know this story is because a sheriff's deputy was driving by and saw these 2 cars full of people in the back of Waffle House, and he was curious. It seemed odd. He pulls up and he finds rifles, pistols, and ski masks inside the vehicle. Guess what? That one guy arrested all of those people. It wasn't because of the badge, it was because of that gun he had. 2 people in a Waffle House prevented 2 carloads full of thugs from robbing that Waffle House. And they might have gone down to the Applebee's next door and done it, but the bottom line is it deterred that crime. Here's some other facts that your legislators need to understand. 31 states out of the 44, that's 2/3 of the states that have open carry, have unlicensed open carry. Is this legislator that opposes open carry telling you that you are dumber than 31 other states? That Texans are less responsible than 31 other states? That Texans can't be trusted with their rights than 31 other states? Is that what our legislators are really telling us? Because if that's what they're telling us, these people don't need to be in this house. Here's another thing that you should tell your legislators. When you leave the borders of this state, whether on foot, on car, or whatever, when you leave the borders of this state, you can legally open carry. In 3 out of those 4 states, you don't need a license. 3 out of the 4 states that border Texas have unlicensed open carry. Oklahoma is the only one with licensed open carry. I would prefer, because Oklahoma is surrounded by unlicensed open carry states, except for Texas, why don't we surround Oklahoma and be the next unlicensed open carry state? And force them to change their laws. There are some cards that if you got a bag, and we've got more bags down there, they've got a lot of great information in there, and what we want you to do is we want you to hand those cards to your legislators and help them to understand the reality behind open carry. And we got to start tearing down here in a minute, because at 12 o'clock the next group comes up. When you go in here, this is what I'm going to ask you to do. Everybody knows what happened a couple weeks ago, which, whether you agree with it or not, what we want to do when we go in there is be respectful, be polite, but be firm. Okay? We're not begging for our rights. We're not asking them to do something. We're telling them this is what we are telling you to do as your representatives. We want you to go to your legislators, your representatives and your senators. Talk to your legislators. If you don't know who they are, we've got a computer over here. Ryan's got his hand up. He'll tell you who your legislators are. Talk to them about open carry. Get their commitment to support HB 195 and why unlicensed carry, you can look at those 31 other states and see it's not a problem. All those things that they're going to tell you is an opinion that's based on ignorance. Because you can look at 31 other states and see that unlicensed open carry is not a problem unless they just don't trust you or they think you're too stupid to handle your own rights. If they tell you, because there are some representatives that you have, and if you already think they're a lost cause because they're anti-gun, meet with them anyway. Let them see your face, let them hear your voice. And then be firm. Tell them in no uncertain terms, okay, I respect the fact that that's the way you're going to vote. Just know that I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you're defeated in the next primary or in the next election. And you will not vote against me again. And then just walk out. That's all you got to do. Show them that we're a very professional organization and we're serious and committed to trying to get this legislation passed.